Good morning, all of you. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Okay,
morning, sir.
so let's start today, right? So, what we are going to learn today is we are going to learn input output mapping, IO mapping, right? IO mapping. Now, what is IO mapping? Now, you are having a processor, right? So, processor must be connected with some input output devices. Yeah. Hello. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we want to connect different input output devices with our 8086 microprocessor. Okay. So for that, there are two techniques available. Okay. One technique is called memory mapped IO, and another technique is called IO mapped IO. Now, normally, this is the default technique. Normally, this technique is used. IO mapped IO is used in all the input output arrangement. Okay. Now, what I mean to say is, suppose this is my input output devices. Now, here we'll have the addresses of IO space, and here we'll have the addresses of memory space, right? So in 8086, now what this means, if I give the address, okay, so if I attach a printer to my 8086, or if I attach a scanner to my 8086, I need an address of that printer or scanner so that I can send the command to that printer or scanner. Get it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by mapping? I need to give the address to my printer or scanner or input output device so that I can communicate with that devices. So there are two ways by which you can give the address. One is by giving the address from memory space, and one by giving the address from address space. So these are the two techniques available. Fine. Normally in exam, these same questions can come for 2 marks or 5 marks. Normally it comes every time. So concentrate and try to understand the difference. What is the difference between memory mapped IO and what is the difference between IO mapped IO? Clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So let's start with first IO map IO. This is the default technique. Normally in 8086, right? In 8086, your IO devices IO address space is of 16-bit. Right? What do you mean by 16-bit address space? That means you are having the address from 0000 hex to FFFF hex. What that means, you can access maximum 64K of different IO addresses. Yes. What that means, you can access 65,536 different IO devices. Yes, clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by address bus? I am having 16-bit address bus for my IO devices. If I am having a 16-bit address bus, that means that I can have different 64K different addresses available. That means I can access different 64K input output devices. That means I can access different 65,536 different input output devices. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is clear. For input output device, you are separately having 16-bit address bus available. Okay. Now, then how it is different from your memory mapped input output? Here, your microprocessor differentiate between IO device and memory devices. Now, memory device means you can have RAM, you can have ROM. So it may be different. So here, microprocessor treats your input output devices and memory differently, while in memory mapped IO it will treat both the thing as the same thing. Now what that mean, here if you want to access your input output device, you need to use in instruction or out instruction. There are only two instructions available if you want to access your input output devices. Another thing is, you only can use a register to operate your input output device. So if I use printer, the data of temporary data will get stored in a register only. You can't use any other register. So that is the problem with this. Okay. And you need to use four control signals. right? Which are the control signal? Read, write for memory, and read write for input output. Get it? There are two more difference that we'll discuss at the end. This much stuff is clear. What is IO mapped IO? Hello.
Yes, sir.
IO mapped IO means for different. Okay, what we want to do, we want to connect different input output devices with our 8086 microprocessor. Yes.
Yes.
Now, if you want to attach different input output device, we need to access them. If you want to access them, we need to give them address. Yes. If you want to give them address, there are two ways: memory mapped IO, IO mapped IO. Now, first learn IO mapped IO. In IO mapped IO, we are having 16 bit of address bus available for IO. Okay, what that mean? We can have 2 raised to 16 different addresses available. What that mean? I can have maximum 64 KB addresses available. What that mean? I can have maximum 65,536 different IO devices I can address maximum, right? And here your IO devices are treated separately than your memory, right? Next
Yes,
difference
sir.
is you can use in instruction or out instruction to access your input output device. You can only use a register to access your input output device. And last is you need to use four control signals: read, write for memory, read, write for input output. So these signals you need to use. Done. Now here in case of memory mapped IO, same problem is same. We want to attach different input output devices with our processor. But here what happens? We can allocate memory address to our input output devices. What that mean? We are having 20-bit address bus for memory. Yes. So that means totally 2 raised to 20 addresses available. Yes. That means 1 MB of memory we are having. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here address of memory is only used for IO device also. So there is no differentiation between input output device and memory. So both are treated same way. I simply give the address. It may be memory, it may be IO device that my processor need to decode. Get it? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Advantage is another, all the instructions are available which you can use for memory. Same instructions you can use for input output devices also. Here all the registers are also available. So all the registers that you can use with memory you can utilize with IO devices, right? And you require only two signals, control signals. Now you don't need to handle input output separately. So you only require read signal and write signal with memory. That's it. Because memory will be treated with memory as well as IO. Done.
Yes, sir.
After seeing all these, what you can say is, but the advantage to memory mapped input output na chhe, right? Then why this is the default technique? 808 like IO mapped IO is default technique. Why? See, here you will get all the registers. Here you are able to use all the instructions. You only need to use two signals, and you are having how many bit address? 20-bit address. So you will get 2 MB of memory. Fine. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
What that mean? Memory mapped IO is better than IO mapped IO. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
But it is not the case in real world. Why? Because I have already told you that IO mapped IO is the default technique. Sorry. This is okay. This is the default technique. Why this is the default technique? Because I told you that I am not going to tell you two differences. The first difference is simple decoding. When I send my address to my microprocessor need to decode it. Why need to decode? It is an IO device or memory device. What we want to read or write. So all these things my microprocessor need to do. As this is only 16-bit address bus, I need to decode only 16-bit data. Here it will be a complex decoding. Why it is a complex decoding? Because here I am having a 20-bit address bus, so I need to decode 20 bit of data, right? As number of bit increase, your circuit will become complex, and you need to increase the time of 5 nanoseconds to 10 nanoseconds. Though it sounds very small, but still it makes the difference. Get it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
A very simple thing is, another thing is, this process is very fast. So this is faster, this is slower. Why? Because suppose I need to find out you people from a classroom, and if you want to find out you people from the university, but obvious classroom માંથી મને જલ્દી મળી જાય. એટલે મારે કોઈ એક ડિવાઇસ શોધવું હોય તો 64 KB માંથી મને જલ્દી મળે, 1 MB માંથી મને શોધતા વાર લાગે. યસ?
Yes, sir.
હેલો હેલો.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is, then still we are having two advantages of IO mapped IO, and we are having many advantages of memory mapped IO, but all the advantages are actually not useful, because first, practically they are not useful. You can use all the instructions. This is the advantage of memory mapped IO. But if you are having an input output device, you only need to read the data or write the data. You don't require any other instruction. You can't add two devices, you can't subtract two devices. All these are actually not possible. So this is, on paper this is the advantage, but in practical life this is hardly an advantage. You can use all the registers. Here only you can use a register, but a register થી કામ ચાલી જતું હોય તો બધા register નું કામ શું છે? So this is also not a big advantage. Okay, third is, here you need 4 control signal, here you need 2 control signal. ખાલી સિસ્ટમ માંથી 2 કંટ્રોલ સિગ્નલ ઓછા થઈ જાય, બાકીનો બીજો કોઈ એડવાન્ટેજ મળતો નથી. સર્કિટ તો એટલી ને એટલી જ કોમ્પ્લેક્સ રહી ગયો. સર્કિટ will remain as complex as it is. So your circuit will not get simpler. Only you 2 signals will get rectified. Get it? So practically IO mapped IO is better. Why? Because decoding is simple and it will be faster. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
After studying all this thing, so IO mapped IO is a default thing and it is a faster thing. Why you require memory mapped IO? Why it is needed? The only reason why it is needed is because of this. Here you are having 1 MB of memory space available. So here in IO mapped IO you are having constraint that you can access maximum 64 KB of devices. You can attach only 64 KB of device. Here you can attach devices till 1 million, right? So that will be the only advantage. So in situation where you are having more devices than 64 KB, you can't go with this system, IO mapped IO. You need to use memory mapped IO. Get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The only advantage of memory mapped IO is memory. So you can use more devices. That will be the advantage. Now તમને એવું થશે કે ક્યારે આપણે 64 KB કરતા વધારે ડિવાઇસ વાપરીએ? At our home, how many input output device we can use? Maximum 10, 15, 20, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Hello. So normally all our microprocessor inside use IO mapped IO because we never go with more input output device. But in a situation where you need more than 64 KB of input output device, at that point of time you require memory mapped IO. So they will be used in controllers, microcontrollers. Now all of you have known about that Dubai Burj Khalifa building. Hello.
Yes, sir.
એટલે ત્યાં છે ને શો થાય એટલે આખા સ્ક્રીન ઉપર LED મૂકેલું. Now that each LED is one input output device and they are using millions of LED. In that case you need to handle millions of LED with a single controller. So in that case you require a controller with capacity of more than million input output device. In that case you need to use memory mapped IO. Get it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just for the sake of revision I am telling you again what we are doing and why we are doing all these things, we want to attach our input output devices to our microprocessor 8086. There are two ways available. One is use the addresses of IO space or use the addresses of memory space. If you use the IO space, you are having 16-bit address, you can attach maximum 64K of devices, you can use only in and out instruction, you are only having A registers available with you, and you need to use 4 controls: memory read, memory write, input read, input write, input output write, right? Now, if this is the case, if I use memory space, then I am having 1 MB of memory, so I can access 1 MB of different input output device. Normally, it is not possible because we need memory. So we can use at least more memory, more addresses than 16-bit, right? We can use all the instruction, all the registers, and only 2 signals. But this is a on paper advantages. Practically, there are hardly any advantage. Why? Because input output system is simple in decoding because it is only 16-bit and it is faster. Here, the decoding of 20-bit will be difficult, and we need to find it from 1 MB of memory, which device you want to access, so it will be slower also. So practically, input output IO mapped IO is the default technique which is used in all the microprocessor. Fine, this is the default. Then why this we are learning this memory mapped IO? The only advantage of memory mapped IO is that we can access millions of location. So if we are having more input output device, more than 64 KB in 8086, in that case, we need to go with memory mapped IO. So normally all the microprocessor are using IO mapped IO as a default technique, while all the controllers are using memory mapped IO. Controllers like who are handling LEDs, millions of devices. Done?
Yes, sir.
Now last topic is what kind of change you need to do in designing, interfacing. Now if you actually want to design something or if you actually want to interface something, then practically what kind of change will come? There are 3 changes that you are supposed to do. 1, if it is IO mapped IO and it is memory mapped IO, right? So if it is IO mapped IO, you only need to use address bus 0 to A15. Here you need to use address bus A0 to A19. Yes, because it is 20-bit address bus, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Second, you need to use only 2 control signal here, read, write with memory. Here you need to use read, write with memory and with IO, right? So 4 control signals you need to use. So you need to change it while designing. And third is you need to change the decoding circuit. Okay? Here circuit will be difficult, complex. Here the circuit will be simple. Because for IO device you are having different address bus. For memory you are having different address bus. Done?
Yes, sir.
So what we have covered today, we have covered input out IO mapped IO and memory mapped IO. This is one of the important topic of interfacing and it will come in exam every time. So go through this again and try to learn it. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, let me stop the recording.